Hello out there. Welcome to the Heavy Montes podcast and my Sunday show, my comedy show. Now in America, now we see that Donald Trump and his criminal gang refused to release the Epstein files. They are saying we're counting on the past. We've broken the laws in the past. We've went and destroyed the Capitol. We've taken and pardoned, hardened criminals. We've pardoned drug dealers. We have pardoned, the worst of us. Also, they have pardoned a bunch of pedophiles. You understand? Because the Republican Party is made up of pedophiles. But today, America, we want to talk about what we're going to do about it. And what we're going to do about it is we're going to vote the Republican Party out. Donald Trump is a pedophile, in the opinion of Heavy Monte. At a minimum, he's a pedophile protector. Now, the Republican Party, they ran again, the House. 100 days they have taken off and did not work. You understand? They're getting the taxpayers' money. And they have health care. You see, they have health care. They have the same health care that the president had. The same health care that Heavy Monte had. You see what I'm trying to tell you? A retired federal official. But they can't give that health care to the American people. You understand? So, excuse me, the American people should not pay, for the Republicans' health care. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should get it, Dan. You know what I'm saying? If it's not good enough for the American people, the health care that the Republicans have in the Congress and the Congress have, nobody should have it. I would get some glasses. My glasses cost me $350. Okay, I only had to pay like $10 of it because my insurance is so good. But I pay $2,500 a month just for me and my wife. Okay, for health insurance. That's not counting dental. You see what I'm saying, America? It's out of control. Obamacare is the way it is because of the Republicans. The Republican Party keep fighting it and breaking it, because they don't want to insure the American people. They don't want to pay for it. Now, I'm going to give you a good example. Michigan, you know, we have a bunch of freaking racists in Michigan, and we've elected a bunch of ambassadors to the state house. And they're in your state houses, too, locally. Now, the Michigan minority leader, Art Nesbitt, you understand? He is out here proudly playing budget arsonists, just like, you know, the Republican Party. They're arsonists when it comes to the budget, when it comes to giving the American people money. Shit, they take away every damn thing you got because they want you penniless and they want you broke and they want you sick and they want you crying and they want you afraid. Tell you to go out and buy yourself a gun. To hurt your liberal neighbor when they're your fucking enemy. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump, Fox News, telling you all these lies, Now, this is what this motherfucker wants to do here in Michigan. I'm trying to tell you. Probably doing the same thing in your hometown, ran by these dogs. At least we have a great governor and a few Republicans, and some Democrats here in Michigan to help us a little bit because these Republicans are fucked up here. They're telling all these people in these small towns and shit to vote for Trump and destroy our state. And we'll starve right along with them bastards. You understand? We got to figure out a way to let them bastards starve. You know what I'm saying? The people who trying to make it here and live right and be the true Christians of the world here in Michigan need to work together. Because these Republicans in Michigan are low down, dirty, fucking ignorant motherfuckers. Heavy said that, okay? These guys are worse than the Confederates. Worse than the Klan here in Michigan, some of them. Driving around their damn truck with a big ass American flag. The flag is ripping out like they're patriots and they delivered us to a maggot king. A king that told me you're a stupid motherfucker. That's what he told him. Donald Trump said they're so ignorant. Donald Trump said they are the low class. You understand? You don't need no money. Donald Trump said if you're that freaking dumb to vote for him, and now you crying, farmer, and you crying, you Muslims and they're born in Michigan and you crying, you Hispanics of Cuba, he said, fuck you. But you got a home. You got a home in the Democratic Party. I got to tell you, yesterday with the Popeyes, give me some chicken. And I met a guy. And that son of a bitch told me that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is the same. That's what they're falling back on now. They're falling back on that. The government that you have right now has never existed. It was created by the maggots and the racists. That's the government you got now. You see what I'm trying to tell you? And they are Republicans. They are racist. They are Russians, spies. They are not Christians. They will rape your daughter. They are dogs. You see a motherfucker with a Trump sign in his yard? Be aware. Fucker probably a fucking criminal, a pig. You got to be at least a pedophile protector, and that motherfucker might rape your kid too, because he approved that shit. Those are the people. Huh? They say, well, there's 77 million of them. Not all of us can be that way. All of you are fucked up. If you voted for Trump. You know what I'm trying to say? They say, have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your troubles, you low down, dirty, non-Christian, cult, satanic dogs. You're not walking with Christ. And he said, if you don't know me, I'm not going to know your ass. You understand? That's why you're suffering. That's why you're going to lose all your shit, because you went against God. You know what I'm saying? And God does not exist if God allows Donald Trump and the Republican Party to do what the fuck they did and slaughter all of these people. But the hands of God will come down upon you. You understand? And deal with God with that stuff. Tell them you did the stuff to these immigrants, huh? Tell them that you walking around with statues, making fun of black people who were raped. You know what I'm saying? And beaten and killed and tortured. Stolen from their homes and life's ruined. And the motherfucker today telling me that I'm discriminating against a white man. And that we are discriminating against them. Your government is discriminating against you. First, by telling you you're white. First, on telling you that you had something to do with the goddamn Civil War and had something to do with torturing black people. So you continue it today and won't free your name and clean yourself. So I absolve you. Huh? You didn't do shit. Huh? Stop voting for these motherfuckers who's telling you that black people are trying to take your goddamn space. We're trying to fucking live and educate our children. Those Hispanic people are trying to live. You understand? And we got to worry about some stupid son of a bitch running around talking about he's going to vote against health care, vote against cancer research. Now listen to this, America. This goddamn guy here, this minority leader, Arctic Nesbitt, you know what I'm saying, an asshole. He says that he is voting against restoring funding for affordable housing, health care, schools, veteran service, mental health care, and yes, even wigs for children that have cancer after House Republicans torched hundreds of millions in state projects. Nesbitt didn't just back the cuts, he called for them to take away, call it fund money. He said, it takes so cruel and out of touch, even 5 of his members of his own caucus bailed on him during the vote. Huh? This is the same guy, huh? Right here. A trumper, a nasty, low-down dog. Yeah, and you voted for him. Who voted for this guy? Huh? Who is the community that put this son of a bitch in? And who voted for him as the minority leader? And now they're talking about, they knew who he was, the same way they knew who Trump is. Now, this is the same guy, this Arctic guy, Nesbitt. This is the same guy who thinks solar panels don't work in the winter. Can't name a single issue where he disagrees with Donald Trump. And now he wants to be governor? At a moment when Michiganders are struggling with rising costs, Nesbitt and the Michigan GOP are playing political games. They don't have any human decency, proving once again that they are not fiscally responsible. That's why they killed all those fucking people with drinking dirty water. And somehow, always what they do land hardest on children, seniors, veterans, and people who need help the most. And that's the Republican structure around the world. I talk this way and use this guy, Arctic Nesbitt, the local people. Those are the ones that are telling you this shit. Told all those people in the small town where this Arctic Nesbitt guy come from, who voted for the son of a bitch. Go back and tell them that you're doing this shit. Go back and tell the people that you're cutting cancer research for the children. Huh? Go back. And that's what they're doing. I'll tell you why. Because every single fucking dollar that they got, they give it to the billionaires and cut it up and split up among their fucking selves. And that's why they get arrested and go to jail right here in Michigan. Huh? The last guy in Michigan, a Republican, he's a crook. But stealing money, they say. You see what I'm trying to tell you? It's all about the money. Your money. Now, Michigan, this is the land of opportunity, milk and honey, but not when you have a Republican. All they do is fight and cry. Got the beautiful governor, this woman. I went to her, some of her events when she was running for governor. So I checked her out. Not only checked out Gretchen Whitmer, I had my friends to check her out. You understand? This woman has all the skills. She's been in politics a long time. She knows what the hell she's doing. But until the Republican Party, sit down and talk to her and work it out, they always talking shit to the point that they tried to kidnap and kill this woman. Tried to, do the same thing to our attorney general. Do this, just bothering people. You understand what I'm saying? Secretary of State going after them. These are some dirty people in America, these Republicans. Yeah? And now they got what they want. So they need to, you should be happy and leave us the fuck alone. You understand? Now we need to vote those bastards out. But see, the thing that's so bad about the Republican Party and these motherfuckers, when we get in, they enjoy the good things that we provide. At the same time, the good government, at the same time trying to tear it down on a basic religious philosophy and ideology of white supremacy because they're a fucking cult. You understand? And the government does a couple of things to them. So you buy some guns, keep them shaking, keep them shaking upset, and because this government, now who are them? Now you don't hear them talking about they're going to go get Trump, huh? But as soon as the Democrat come into office, they'll be doing that shit again. Playing those goddamn Republicans. They're happy then. Shit, Sean Hannity will go, man, we got them. We can make some money again. Huh? They can't really make a whole lot of money with Trump is in there because the shit that Trump is selling was foolish. You see what I'm saying? Stupid and racist right in the open. Because Trump don't hide it. Trump does not hide it. You know what I'm saying? He tell you he's a fucking racist. You know what I'm saying? He tell you his wife, is who she is. You know what I'm saying? He tell you that shit. But the American people, oh, we have this beautiful first lady. She's the most beautiful person in the world. Even though she can't hardly speak English, and she lies and shit and steals from a black woman, Obama, and Michelle Obama, plagiarize her documents and shit because she want to be Obama, brings her parent, comes over here on a visa, talking about she's a fucking genius. You understand? When they said she was a sex worker in Amsterdam, you know what I'm trying to say? Said she was a fucking whore. Excuse my language. You understand? I don't know how true it is, but that's what they say. And I want to say something to you people. I don't play around with Republicans. I don't be out here trying to be nice to people who trying to destroy me. You understand? Who's trying to destroy my family? Who's trying to destroy gay people? Who's trying to destroy white liberals? Huh? Who are the enemy and tell you they're fucking enemy and who have put together a goddamn institution, you understand, of lies. Yeah? And got a cult. People out here starving like shit. And the dude told me yesterday in Popeyes that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are the same now. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter. It fucking matters. It matters between democracy, okay, and having a king and you dying without health care. Mm-hmm. It matters that your children get raped. It matters that you have a Republican Party that's full of pedophiles, America. You know what I'm saying? The institutions rape your children. They kill your children in schools. You understand what I'm trying to say? They tell white children, light-skinned children, that they're white, and somehow they're responsible, and they don't want them to see, the statues on the streets of the butchery and slavery they did to black people. At the same time, don't want to take them down. You understand? You see, trying to have it both ways, huh? Trying to make the black people feel bad and trying to scare the hell out of the so-called white people. We ain't going for that shit. America, we're one people. We marry who we want. You know what I'm saying? If you're white, you can marry a black. Huh? If you're gay, you can marry a man. You can do the fuck you want. This is a free goddamn country. Huh? Let's run these motherfuckers out of town. You understand? I'm talking about as far as with our vote, to take our country back and free the women again because they're fucking slaves. They're fucking handmaidens too. They're fucking slaves, see. I'm telling you, a woman, you ain't worth shit in America today to the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? You're cattle. You understand? These men, a part of their philosophy is that they burn you at the stake. You know what I'm saying? Burn you alive. Burn women alive. These religious fundamentalists. Huh? You imagine how horrible that is to burn a human being alive? Huh? You understand that? They did it to blacks too, men and women. These fundamentalists, these so-called fucking Christians, to slaughter these goddamn Indians the way they did. You understand what I'm saying? They call themselves Christians and tell them they want to spread that fucking ideology and make it a part of the Constitution? No. No, America. This is the new day. This is the day of the Democratic Party. And if you're not a Democrat, get the fuck out of our party. Don't hang around. We don't want no more Joe Mancins. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about Elisa Stefanik. Elisa Stefanik, a woman, a moderate, somebody who, the Democratic Party had faith in. And a lot of Democrats voted for her, and she sold us out. Sold us out, America. She said, she's not a moderate. Lawler and all those guys from New York, they're all maggots. They're maggots and they're low down. If they're Republicans, you can't vote for them. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Sunday Show, saying never ever vote for a Republican. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for subscribing. We have 814 subscribers as of today, and I've met a 500 subscriber goal. We're close to 1,000. Let's meet that 1,000 subscriber goal, and let's go to 5,000, and let's get the voice out there, Heavy Monte. Because I'll get down dirty with these dogs. You understand? And I can just tell people what they do. I don't have to make up any shit. I can say in my heart, I feel that Donald Trump is a rapist, an adjudicated rapist. I can say in my heart that he's a pedophile, I think, because they're covering all this shit up. I can say in my heart that he's a Russian spy. I can say in my heart that the Republican Party is a threat to America, and they need to be dissolved. You understand? You don't back a Nazi. Huh? You don't forgive the people that slaughtered all the Jews in Germany. They erased all that shit and put them all in jail and put them on trial. And that's the same thing we need to do to that cabinet of Donald Trump and members of that Republican Party. We need to show the true face of that party to the American people. And we will do that. But we need the votes because they always sweep by and have somebody like Manchin or somebody like, moderates Mike Law and people like that, playing the game and fooling the fucking people. And we don't have enough votes to make a change. But we make a change. Let me say this to you, America. The Republican Party is using any dirty trick in their books to destroy America. And we need to use any dirty tricks in our book to save America. You understand? We need to let the people know who in the hell these people are. And these people are dirty. They're low down, And Mitt Romney, slimy dog, in my opinion, he came out. He invented Obamacare and didn't support it. He came out and he said that we need to take money from the billionaires and give it to the Republicans. Give it to the American people. We need to tax the billionaires more, he said. A little too late. He's trying to make it into heaven too, they say. If you're in the Republican Party, you're an evil person. I'm sorry, to say that. You're evil, and nothing's going to happen to you in your life. I'm trying to tell you, because the Republican Party is the party that goes against God, and you lose every time when you go against God. You're destroyed, and it will be destroyed. And Donald Trump will be shown for who he is, a Russian spy, in my opinion, and a low-down, dirty dog. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Podcast, the Heavy Monte Sunday Show, and the Heavy Monte Comedy Show. Never, ever vote for a Republican. And please subscribe to the Heavy Monte YouTube channel because I am the progressive voice of America.